Good morning. Happy New Year. We are back live. First trading day of 2025. Where do you think market's going? Not that it matters. How about this question? What kind of year do you think 2025 is going to be for the markets? Put that in the comments down below. All right, so basically, we had a nice steady move up since markets reopened last night, technically. Getting a little bit of a retracement this morning, pre-market. And we're at I'd say, very significant support level right now. So we have just about 10 seconds before the market opens, and let's see what happens. We're gonna blow through this support here, and I would imagine if we do, we're gonna have a nice significant push downwards, which looks like it might, let's see. Or is this support gonna hold here and we're gonna have a nice push up? I think either way, we're gonna get a decent move today, one way or the other. So I'm ready for both. Let's see what happens. So right now we're below that support area. Well, I'd say we're still in it, but we're not getting that big blow through that I would have expected. So it looks like we definitely got a lot of buyers here. Let's see if the sellers can overcome. If not, this might be a decent area to think about taking a long position today and just letting it ride. I think we're gonna pick a direction, and that's the way we're gonna go all day today. First trading day of the year. Well, let's see. Might be holding. You can see on my screen there, I did take a trade this morning already. It was a risky trade, so I kept my stop loss tight. I was up a little bit, and I moved my stop loss to break even just because I didn't want to start the day or the year off in a negative way. So I knew the trade was risky. It was before market open. So I moved my stop loss to break even, and it just came up and touched break even for me, stopped me out, which totally okay with. I'd rather not be in a position for market open today. So I was totally cool with that. I mean, whatever, right? There's no such thing as shoulda, woulda, coulda in this game, right? Either you set your parameters and you let it ride. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Move on to the next opportunity. Let's see how this first candle closes here. We're getting some some selling pressure here now for sure. So we also have a support down in this area here that played a big role also. You can see this area here held as a very good support. It's also just about where market reopened on the first day here. You can see in this general, this dotted line here is the day break. So 2025, technically this is where we opened right here, which is just about where we're reaching. So I'm wondering if we're just going to come down to this area here, grab some liquidity, and then head back up. Let's see. So this is a, we'll have to see how these couple of candles play out. This could just be a liquidity sweep first thing in the morning, right? Why wouldn't it be? First couple minutes of the 2025 trading year New York session. Let's go grab all of the stop losses. Yeah, it's a big push here, and it's not even really given any place to get in. In hindsight here, if I had left my earlier trade alone and didn't move my stop loss, I'd be just about hitting my TP right now for a 4-to-1. Yeah. So close. So close. We're about to hit that support level that I had marked out quite a while ago. We just broke through open. Oh, we broke through open a little while ago. Hey, there we go. Look at that. See, we got a big bounce there. Boom. Are we grabbing liquidity? Look at the buyers come back in now. Let's see how the sellers finish off here. See how fast that candle bounced when it reached that level there? This level here, right here, which coincides with all this other support area right here. Can you guys see that? Yeah. Look at that bounce. I don't know if you guys can see. Yeah, you can see the support line that I have here. That support line I placed months ago. All right, we're pushing through here. See, the sellers have the upper hand. So now we're pushing further. I am not a reversal trader. Although in my head, I'm pretty good at spotting them, but for taking trades, I'm not that good at positioning for them. So I normally get stopped out when I try to trade reversals. For me, it'd have to be I'd have to have the confirmation. I'd have to wait for this to play out, get a new high, a new low, and then go from there. But this doesn't look like it's going to be a reversal so far. We're pushing through all of this structure here. Let's see, if we break these lows, we might be looking at a pretty decent downward day. Which stinks for me because I missed that opening already. This support line here is where I had my TP set this morning for 4 to 1. It's actually 4.5 to 1 R. Would have been done already. But you can't do that to yourself. What could have, if this, that's, whatever. Can't do it. I made the decision to move my stop loss because I knew that there might be some volatility this morning. I didn't want to get stuck in the volatility at market open. So that was my decision, and I'm okay with it. I didn't lose anything this morning. Yes, if this played out, I could have made $4,500, but that's the game, you can't be upset and this and that and get emotional and oh my goodness, I could have had this, but you never had it to start with, right? So you didn't lose anything, and you don't know how these things are going to play out when you're making your decisions. So just be mindful that you're making your decisions for certain reasons. And again, if it plays out, it plays out. If it doesn't, then it doesn't. Let it go. Move on to the next trade. All right, we're just about approaching the 15-minute mark here. And it looks like we might... I was just going to say we might be getting some support here. It's almost like the market can hear me. I'm just kidding, it can't. The market doesn't give a shit about you or your trades. I'll tell you what though, this does still look like a decent area for it to be grabbing some liquidity and then right back the other way. And this is actually a pretty nice candle here to sway me. We're back up to that support, basically retesting, but if we close above this area here, this might be your beginning of a reversal here. For those of you that are reversal traders, you'd probably know better than me, honestly. So you tell me. Leave it in the comments. What do you think is happening right now? Especially if you're a reversal trader. Is this something you're getting ready to take? Let me know. Check the other time frames here. Yeah, see the 4 hour, we're still sitting at a pretty decent support area. That goes way back. Let's see how we're looking on the day chart. Yeah, same thing. I mean, we're still in this support area here. What do we got for news today? Let's see. Mortgage applications way down. Mortgage refinancing way down. Jobless claims a little less than what was expected, a little less from the previous. Initial jobless claims still less. I mean, those numbers are good. They're good in the sense that the economy is doing well. It's not good in the sense that we're still sitting at interest rates that are way too high, in my opinion. So I think the market here may be thinking like, you know, let's get a move on it here, Fed. This actually looks like a reversal here to me. Again, if you guys are watching this or you're watching it later on or whatever, if you're a reversal trader, let me know what you think of this setup here. Good support structure to the left. Nice big push back up above the support line. And we might be pushing here. Is this something that you'd be taking? What else we got today? We got mortgage rates later. Oh, yeah. ISM manufacturing numbers tomorrow at 10 a.m. ISM manufacturing PMI. So that might have some interest in the markets. See, Bitcoin is bouncing. Bitcoin and Ethereum both at levels of resistance right now. And the Nasdaq, it's at a support. Are we going to break through or are we bouncing here? If we break, got a pretty decent move down. I mean, we're probably looking at levels down in this area. I don't know if you can see that down in this area here. Maybe just above. Or you do have another. Yeah, probably right here. Here's your next support. That's right. Next support is at 20,720-ish, 727. But this looks like a nice reversal for me. That's my opinion. Again, I'm not a reversal trader, so I would be taking a huge risk for me personally, because I don't do reversals. That's not my strategy. So if I were to take a buy here, a long position here, it'd just be super risky for me personally. Although I've been staring at these charts long enough to be able to kind of recognize it, I'm just not that great at positioning. You know. For me here, I'd have to wait for us to break the moving average that I have set here, the 30-day moving average, and then my super trend indicator. I'd have to close above both of those in order for me to consider taking a long position. I mean, right now, we're still below the 30 moving average, we're below the 200-day moving average, and we're below my super trend. So not a long setup for me personally. If you're a reversal trader, you might have already gotten in, honestly. If you're a little bit more aggressive. For those of you that wait for confirmation, you gotta wait for confirmation. All of my larger time frames are still sell positions according to my strategy. So I'd have to wait for this to flip around here. So this is, I mean, come on. Oh yeah, we came down here, we said thank you, and now we're pushing up. It's okay. Wait for the opportunity. I'm gonna have some more of my waffle. It's probably cold now. Getting a little rejection off my super trend there. We made a little bit of a support here, pre-market. I wonder if we're just coming up and testing the support here, and we're going to continue downward. This might actually be an opportunity for me to get back in. We'll see how this candle closes here. If we close above my super trend here, nope. I will wait for a long position to open up for me. Yeah. I mean, it's a pretty strong retracement there. It definitely looks like a liquidity grab. We are now testing the 200-day moving average on the 5-minute. We still got strength behind these bullish candles here, so got strength, we got volume. So my problem here now, to go long, is finding a decent area to put my stop loss. Your range is so big now. Unless I wait for it to consolidate in this area here and let it consolidate and then break above, and then I can put my stop loss maybe below that area. But otherwise, really, like, to play it safe, you know, this is what you're looking at for a stop loss, which is a huge area. It doesn't really make your RR worth it. So we have 5.5 minutes left to this 1 hour candle here. And you can see that we made a huge move down in the hour, and we've almost completely retraced the entire move in the last 30 minutes. Not even, because that was after market opens. Probably in the last 15 minutes. Still strong moves. I mean, this 1 hour candle here is pushing the closest green. This makes me wonder. So now we're in this large trading zone here. Which the sellers can pull from. So here's the thing, right? Where do I put my stop loss? Below this structure here? Does that really make the trade invalid? I mean, it could. It's a big support area here. So if we break below that support again, I would imagine that we're going to have some consolidation here maybe. Let the buyers rest a little bit. I don't know, I think the sellers might take over again, to be honest with you. Getting rejected by the 30 moving average. a minute left to this 1 hour candle over here, which, you know, a lot can happen in a minute. So risky. No risk, no reward, right? Ah, look at that. Got some volatility at this level here, this volume level. What are you guys thinking? Those of you that are watching this later, most of you probably already will have seen what plays out here, but humor me. What were you guys thinking in this moment right here? Is this a continuation of the bullishness? Or are the sellers grabbing their liquidity now and going to push this market down? Or are we going to get some consolidation here, like I thought, and then continue to push up? I don't know. The fight is on. I don't know. It looks like we still want to go long. So technically, my buy signal has just gone off. That is such a range. Definitely not an A+ setup for me. I don't know if I like it. I don't know if I like it enough to take a trade. I mean, I could set my stop loss below this area here. It looks like we want to just keep going. It's very strong. But then where are we looking for a get out? Back up here. Yeah, see, I don't know. That's quite the wick there on the 1 hour chart. It's clearly a downtrend on the 1 hour. We are this is a nice V for a reversal here. Yeah. Came down, swept, pushed all the way back up. I don't know. I can't. So I can't go long here because, your take profit should be high of the day, right? And that's unless I set a super tight stop loss, which I don't like it. I don't like it. If I end the day with a break-even trade on the first day of the year, that's a win, right? That's a win. So I'm not gonna push anything. I'm not gonna make anything happen here. I still think the bias is to the downside, but I'd have to. And there's your RR for the day, right? I mean, at this point, unless you're a reversal trader and you got in where I was talking about way back when, like you would have made out pretty clean there. Just wasn't for me. Although I did call it. And that's the thing with me is like, I can see the structures popping off, but I know that I'm not good at positioning myself in reversals, especially ones that are this volatile. So my job is to not lose money. So at the end of the day, break even is not losing money. I actually made, look at that, I made $5.40 off of the trade this morning. You know? Well, I didn't lose any money. So that's the thing too, right? Looking at the 1 hour here, we are very clearly in a downtrend. We are positioned pretty much at the top trend line in this downtrend. So there's just way too many reasons not to get into this trade long right here. If this shows me some good evidence to get into the trade short, that's the trade that you want to take here today, right? So honestly, until this breaks high of the day and pushes through, which it may do, for me at this point, if this pushes through, breaks high of the day, I'd have to see a retracement, a retest of high of the day, and then that'd be something that I'd be looking to get into long. And then you have a decent, at that point you have a decent, maybe you have a decent RR there for at least a 2-to-1. I gotta have a minimum of 2-to-1. If I don't have a 2-to-1, then it's not a trade worth taking. It's that simple, I'm down $180 on the week. And I'd like to keep it that way, honestly. If I could, it's one good trade, one good 2-to-1 trade makes me more money than my wife and I make together in a week. So, not wait for that, right? So all I need is one 2-to-1 trade a week, and that technically makes me a profitable trader, making more money than the two of us make. Take home wise, Thing is though, is when you're trading, you don't have to pay into Medicare and Medicaid and unemployment and for your 401, your retirement, your retirement, everybody else's retirement. So I compare my take home with what I can make in trading minus taxes. So I got to pay taxes. And that's it. You don't have to pay any of that other baloney that comes out of your paycheck to pay for everybody else's crap. So if you're a trader looking to become a full-time trader, you don't need to look at your overall, your net income You know, look at what your take home is plus, 30, 40%, because that's what you have to take out for taxes. See, we had some nice long candle bodies here, but now we're starting to get some smaller candles here. We're still getting larger wicks. Yeah, see, that one closed small too. So I'm thinking that we're getting some decent resistance here in this area. Now we could just be building up to plow through this upper structure here, which is fine. Again, this is what I'm saying, right? So this gave me a buy signal with my strategy, but you also have to understand what the market's doing and understand that this is a buy signal, but this is like a C grade, right? It's not an A plus setup. There's way too much distance for your stop loss placement. There's definitely not enough distance to make a 2-to-1 RR on this. So you don't take the trade. Whether it gives you a buy signal or not, you don't take the trade. To me, this is still a downtrending in general market. So I would be waiting for to take a trade to the downside here, because there's your RR. Doesn't mean that that's what's going to happen. If it doesn't happen by noon for me, then I walk away. After noon, volumes decrease pretty significantly and I don't trade. Plus, the biggest reason for me to get into trading here is freedom, right? So I'm not going to sit at the computer all day and make it an 8-hour, a day job. I'd like to be able to make my trades in the first hour or two. If it doesn't happen, I watch until noon. After noon, the European markets close, your volume goes down, and it's not worth trading after that. For me, that's my opinion. Starting to slow down a little bit, the buyers here. It could just be taking a rest, which would be normal. Well, so we just took out 1, 2 candles. Testing the moving average. We just, testing the moving average. Still in this consolidation area. A lot of volume here at these price range. All right, we'll push through the moving average. See if we can close back below the moving average here. Then I might be trying to plan a trade here to the downside. Okay, so this 5-minute candle here, it took 1, 2, 3, 4 candles out. Strong push to the downside. See here I can at least get a 2 to 1. This might run. This might run and take out the wick of the previous 1 hour candle here. And it might be moving a little too fast for me to catch it. Unless I tighten up my stop loss here above this current candle, which would be risky. But we're getting a strong push down here. Sometimes the market just moves too fast. The sellers are in play. So the thing about this is on days like today, where you have these large candles going both directions, right? This is like one of those range trading days where you just get buyers and sellers pushing from this price to this price. I don't like trading on days like today with this kind of these market conditions are not good for my strategy. They don't really work. They don't give you a decent stop loss placement. You may or may not get a 2 to 1 RR on this. So you just got candles taking previous candles, taking previous candles. There's no market direction here. That's what's happening. My strategy works best with the market direction. Yeah. So this candle is going to take this entire wick of the previous, or close to it. So we're either gonna take this wick here, or when this finishes 30 minutes here, which we have another 5.5 minutes to, we could just create another wick and go right back up to the other side. And that's the thing. That's why I don't like trading on days like today here, when you just have wicks taking wicks taking wicks. Or I'm sorry, candles taking candles taking candles. There is no market direction, right? You have no idea which way the market's going to go. And in conditions like this, it can go whichever way at any time. So there isn't any great, entry points. Yeah, you can try to enter at the very tops and bottoms. But on a day like today, with this kind of market, it could take those highs or lows at any point. So it's just, there's no There's no trade here. For me. For me, for the conditions I like to trade in, for the conditions that work best for my strategy, there's no trade here. Typically, I use the trend, the super trend, for entries and stop losses. So if you look here, if this 5-minute candle closes, let's see, if this 5-minute candle closes, right, so this being below the super trend, being below the moving average, this is a sell signal for me now. But my stop loss goes above at least the high, the previous high. So look at this, like this is massive move that I would need downwards here to make 2 to 1 is it's just not there, because the chances of it getting back down to these lows and then bouncing again are higher, in my opinion, than it breaking the lows, because of these previous structures you have here. It's just candles taking candles taking candles, right? And you have a very strong support down in this area here. Very strong. And the market has come down and tested that area multiple times previously. So my strategy works better when you have tighter areas here, right? So here's your break of the super trend. So you get in at the close of the candle that breaks the super trend, and it must be a close below both the moving average and the super trend for a sell signal. So you get in here, which is just about where I got in this morning, and your stop loss gets set above the high, the previous high, which is where the super trend shows you. And then you take. And so you can see here how the strategy works. You get a retracement, it never breaks, it never even comes close really to your stop loss, and it blows through. And what I do is I move my stop loss to every spot that I can, right? So even if I didn't take, this would have hit my take profit down here. Even if I didn't have a take profit and this retraced and took me out at this level here, this still would have been really close to a 2 to 1 trade. This strategy for the NASDAQ works for me, but you got to read the market conditions. And I only follow this strategy between certain hours of the day. Also, definitely not. Well, I can't say anything after like 7:30, 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern time until noon. That's it. It's got a very high win ratio during those time frames. All right, I'm gonna hang out here with you guys for 2 more minutes. 10:30, I'm gonna bounce off and see what happens. But again, these market conditions for me, not good trading. So I may be ending the day up $5. Break even. Hey, a break even day is just as good as a win, in my opinion, because you're not losing money. A 0 day is always better than a negative day, right? And furthermore, more importantly, I'd say, a disciplined day where you decide not to take a trade because the conditions are not perfect, or close to, I should say. They're never going to be perfect, but as close to perfect as possible. Your A+ setups, not taking a trade on days that do not provide you A+ setups is a win every single time. Every time. You will grow your account that way. If you take risky trades, you will blow your account that way. Believe me, I know. One of the things that have gotten me, and I'm going to end on this thought, one of the things that have gotten me to the point that I am in today, where I'm able to do a funded challenge with the confidence to be able to pass it, is I stopped making stupid trades. And I decided to be extremely disciplined in one strategy, trading only one utility. That's it. That's it. Pick one strategy that works for you. Pick one thing to trade that works for you. I've been watching the NASDAQ and the Qs and all those things for the last 3 years. So I know the movements that it can make. And I also know how it can react. And so I know that on days like today, where you have this wild movement in both directions, is not a good trading day for the NASDAQ. It's just not. So anyway, that's the thought I'm going to end on. Be disciplined. Be disciplined. That's what's going to get you to the winning side of this. That's what's going to get you to at least the top, the 10% that can make a little bit of money in trading. And if you continue with that discipline afterwards, it might get you to the 1%. Because really only 1% make it in trading. It's not a lot, but it could be you. All right. Well, on that note, I'll see you tomorrow.